what we want to do now is give this owl a body. Now, before we do that, I'm looking at his head and I'm not exactly happy with it. I don't know about you, but anytime I work, if I stop working and spend just a moment looking at what I created, I always find something that I want to change, and this happens to be no exception. So if you are following along in the last movie, you can continue to do so now. If you weren't, you can open up owlstep3.ai, which is available inside the exercise files. So what I want you to do is come over and highlight the direct selection tool, which is the white arrow tool. If you come over and click on the tip of his left ear, you'll select just that anchor point. I want you to click and drag this up and over to the right. We're going to make his ears stand up a little bit more. And then you want to do the same thing over here on the right-hand side. And if you have Smart Guides turned on, it will really help you. If you don't, you can go to the View menu, and under the View menu, you can choose Smart Guides. Command-U or Control-U would be the keyboard shortcut. So if you click and drag, you'll hit that Smart Guide, and once you do, if you let go of the mouse, your ears should be pretty much symmetrical. This one looks like it's standing up a little bit more, actually, so I'm going to click and drag it over to the right just a tad. So I think that looks pretty good. Again, we could drag out some more guides to make sure that it was symmetrical, but I'm happy with this. Now what we need to do is draw the body. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. The keyboard shortcut is Space Command Option. That would be Space Control Alt on Windows, and then click a few times. Now we want this owl to be somewhat stubby, so we're going to come over and choose the Ellipse tool. With the Ellipse tool, you want to use the same fill color as the owl's head. And then what you want to do is click and drag out another circle. So hold down the Option key on the Mac, Alt on Windows to draw it from the center. Click and drag. You can hold down the Shift key to constrain it to a circle. And you want the circle to be about the same size as the owl's head. Once you let go of the mouse, we want to send it to the back so it's behind the owl's face. So you can come up to the Object menu with it still selected. You can choose Arrange, and then you can choose Send to Back. After doing that, we want to pull down this center a little bit. So again, come over and choose the Direct Selection tool and click on this anchor point here. And when you do, you can simply use the down arrow key on your keyboard. And if you hold down the Shift key, you'll move it in larger increments. And you just kind of want to lengthen this circle so it's not exactly a circle, but more oblong. And then when you're happy, you can click away to deselect it, and that looks pretty good for the owl's body. And if you want to reposition it, you can. come over and highlight the selection tool, click on it, nudge it around. I'm sure I'm going to want to make a change to this after the fact, but we're just about done with his body. The only other thing that we want to do is kind of give his belly a little bit of brightness. So we're going to come over and choose the Ellipse tool again. This time we're going to choose a lighter fill color. So I'm going to come over here and choose maybe this tannish color. And then you want to draw an ellipse or an oval. Again, you can draw it from the center by holding down the Option key on the Mac, Alt on Windows, click and drag. I'm not holding down the Shift key this time because I do want it to be an oval. And I don't want it to cover his beak, so I'm going to go ahead and nudge this down so it's closer to the bottom of his belly. And now we're in pretty good shape. The next thing that we need to do is we need to add some wings and some feet to this owl. But this is a good starting point. Like I said, you may decide to make some changes in a little bit, but I don't think we need to right now. I think we can wait until we get the wings put on this owl. And again, I'm not completely confident that this is symmetrical, but I think it's fine for what we're doing. So in the next movie, with the pen tool, we'll create the owl's wings.